Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another episode of iStarly TV. I'm your host Scarecrow as always, and today I have a battle, but first I'm going to showcase my team that I have been using a little bit on Showdown recently. I haven't been playing too much Showdown and Smogon tiering lately. I've been really busy with school, but I'm going to start being a lot less busy now because I have a big project due on Friday. And I'm pretty much done with it, so once that's out of the way, then I will be a lot more open to do stuff. So basically I'm using a standard OU VoltTurn team, which if you don't know what VoltTurning is, it's basically a team that utilizes a lot of Pokemon that have the moves either Volt Switch or U-Turn, and basically what you want to try to do is use either Volt Switch or U-Turn and get priority, get initiative on what your opponent switches in, so that you have a better line of play, so that you can switch in the appropriate Pokemon that can deal with that threat, and then just pretty much weaken the opponent that way. So really quickly, my team is just Choice Banded Talonflame, standard set that I always use, Adamant Nature, and then I have mixed Greninja with U-Turn, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire is mainly for Ferrothorn, and it really does a good job of catching it off guard and one-hit KOing standard Ferrothorn, so that's awesome. And then we have Life Orb Infernape. It's a mix ape with U-Turn, Close Combat, Overheat, and Stone Edge. Very good set, one of my favorites. And then I have Bulky Rotom, physically Bulky Rotom. And then I also have Mega Manectric. Mega Manectric is my Mega on this team, obviously, and it's very, very good. It has Intimidate, and when it Mega evolves, its speed hits 135, which is faster than almost every single Pokemon in OU, which is really, really helpful, especially with Intimidate. It allows it to switch into things like Talonflame, Greninja. It allows it to switch into very, very standard threats and Volt Switch out of there on time. So it's really, really awesome. And then my last slot is Espeon. And it's basically kind of standard Magic Bounce Espeon with, it's kind of bulky. I'm running, sorry, you probably can't see it, but yeah, my last slot is Espeon, and it has max HP and max speed, and it has Baton Pass, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Dazzling Gleam. So you'll see that the bulk will come in handy in this match, but otherwise it's just I guess to prevent Stealth Rocks from getting up on my side of the field, since I'm going to be switching a lot with this team and I don't have any Rapid Spinners, so Espeon serves as my kind of pseudo Rapid Spinner. So yeah, sorry if I sound weird though too, I am sick, but yeah, let's just watch the instant replay of this battle. So looking at my opponent's team, I can't pause it, but he has a Greninja as well. I led with my Greninja because I felt like it was the best thing to lead with, and he leads with his, and I predict him to go for the U-Turn, so I go into Talonflame to take that, and he does go for U-Turn, which is awesome. He just switches in Rotom to wall me, and then I'm just going to U-Turn into my own Rotom because that's the best switch-in I have to Rotom. And his Hydro Pump actually does a lot. So I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch here, predicting him to switch, or even if he stays in, I felt like that would be the best play. And then he does go into Ferrothorn, which means that's great because I can just Volt Switch out and get some extra damage. And I'm going to Volt Switch into Espeon, and I'm not scared of the Gyro Ball or the Power Whip because I am bulky and he is burned. So as you're going to see, that Gyro Ball still does a decent amount, but I am able to take it. And then I'm going to be able to go for the Shadow Ball there, and I'm going to kill him off. Well, the burn kills him off. And he does a decent amount with Gyro Ball, but here is where the Bolt comes in handy because I actually live this Ice Shard. I actually definitely would not have lived it if I were not bulky. So I'm going to Baton Pass into my Rotom, then pull a Hard Switch back into Espeon, predicting him to go for the Stealth Rock and just scouting what he's going to want to do. Luckily for me, he does go for the Stealth Rock though. But at this point now, I figured I can't pull that same trick twice. He's probably going to get his Stealth Rocks up eventually. So I figured I'd just let him get them up and just go for the Hydro Pump. And now we both have rocks on our side of the field, and we both have a threat. I have Talonflame and he has Charizard Y, or Charizard in general, who is super weak to rocks. So basically the way that one of us is going to win is by playing those threats most efficiently with rocks on the field. So basically what happened there is I protected, he Icicle Crashed, then he Icicle Crashed again and flinched me, then I protected it, and it basically repeated the process until he didn't flinch me. He actually flinched me 3 times in a row, which is obviously very annoying, but eventually I do get the Will-O-Wisp off. I am going for Will-O-Wisp over Hydro Pump because Will-O-Wisp has 5% more accuracy, and because I didn't want to waste a Hydro Pump just dealing 1 damage. So here he goes into Latias. I thought maybe he would defog, so I just went for the Will-O-Wisp, I believe, but he does Draco, and I'm going to be able to go into Greninja and just get the initiative with U-turn, which is what this team does, as he goes into Rotom, and that actually does a lot. So I figured I can go into Manectric here and threaten him out, and if he stays in, I'd probably kill with... Well, I went for the Thunderbolt because I felt like he didn't have a good switch into that, and now he's going to go into Charizard, and I'm just going to Volt Switch out of there so that I can get initiative again. I go into Espeon as fodder, and I figured if he goes for the Dragon Dance, I could go into Talonflame and kill with Brave Bird, and if he goes for any other move, I could just go into Manectric, get the Intimidate, and finish him off, which is just, you know, a great play overall. So now Manectric's going to be able to outspeed the rest of his team. I go for the Volt Switch to deal a little bit of damage to Latias. Unfortunately, I do get another crit, but I guess that makes up for the 3 flinches that he got on me, and he does start to scare me here by going for Calm Mind, but even then I wasn't that scared because I knew I had Greninja, who would outspeed and hit with U-turn, and also Talonflame, who would also outspeed with U-turn, but I figured Brave Bird would be doing more damage, and so I went for that. It kills it, and then he switches in Greninja, and Greninja is not going to be able to take a Brave Bird either, so that's going to be my game 2-0. That was a pretty quick game, but a very good one nevertheless. I really like VoltTurn teams. I'm trying to perfect this team. I feel like Espeon's the weakest member at the moment. Sorry, I sound really sick. Yeah, Espeon's probably the weakest member at the moment, but it still actually pulls its weight. I do want maybe something that can set up hazards, maybe like Smeargle or something. So maybe I'll experiment with Baton Pass Smeargle, I don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know though. And I hope you guys are all doing well. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it, whatever. Comment. That'd be nice. Thanks.